Hello. This is a special Halloween live lesson. If you celebrate Halloween, we are covering minor keys, minor scales, minor chords. So let me give you just a quick overview of what to expect, and then we'll jump on in. Also invite you to look in the video description, take a look at the resources. Some of these we are going to use within the lesson, and then others are just for you to continue your learning afterwards. So our outline real quick, we'll talk about what a minor key is, and if you're brand new to music theory, we'll talk about what a key is in general. We'll talk about the minor scale pattern, how you can build a minor scale starting on any pitch. We'll talk about what's called relative minor and the concept of sharing key signatures, because it might get a little bit confusing. You might see the same song displayed as key of C and key of A minor at the same time, and we'll talk about why that could be and how that's not necessarily wrong. We'll actually go through a couple vocal exercises in minor keys. We'll talk about some real song examples within minor keys, and as always at the end we'll do Q&A. But I do encourage you also, if you've got questions, points of confusion as we go, please let me know in the chat. I'll keep my eye on it and glance over there every couple minutes. Okay, so what is a minor key? A key, all a key is a set of specific pitches that basically form the foundation for a song. So a key, oftentimes we'll talk about key as a pitch letter name, and this is where a lot of beginners get confused. So for example, I'm going to start with the easiest key, the key of C. Key of C major specifically. If you go to a virtual keyboard with me, or if you've got a keyboard at home, run over to it. But if you do not have a keyboard at home, you can go to, let me find a good virtual keyboard for you. I like to use virtualpiano.net. However, that one might, let me quickly see if Key Assist. There we go. Okay, that's what we want. So I'm going to put this in the chat. So go ahead and pull up virtualpiano.net, and then here's the kicker. You need to click Key Assist. Once that's loaded, it might take a second to load, but click Key Assist twice, because that is going to bring up the pitch letter names on the keys themselves. Okay, so make sure you do that. Once you are ready, we can start in on the key of, let's say, C major. So the key of C major, if you start on any C and walk up or down to the next C, you're playing a C major scale. You're playing in the key of C. So the easy thing about starting with C is it's all the white keys. So if you look, for example, with me at C4, that's what we call middle C, because it's about in the middle of the keyboard. So if you click C4, and I'll do it on my electric keyboard. So find C4, and if you just start walking and don't stop until you hit the next C, you're going to be playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and we're all very familiar with that sound. All right, so that is a major scale. That pattern repeats. We could keep it going. So we could walk from C4 to C5 and then C5 to C6. So you'll see that key and the scale, it repeats across the keyboard. So it's not just this set range. Rather, it's a set of pitches that are allowed within that key. Okay, I want you to play the exact same keys, the exact same pitches, but this time start on A and end on A. And we'll notice how there's a different sound quality there. So still only white keys. Start this time on A3. Okay, so C4, middle C, you're walking down 2 white keys to the left. Click A3, and now play only white keys until you hit the next A, which is A4. Okay, I'm going to play it on my keyboard. If you're not following along on the keyboard, that's fine. You can just listen. you've just played a minor scale, and we're now in the key of what we call A minor. So we'll touch on that a little bit later, but major and minor keys sometimes share key signatures, or they share the set of pitches that belong, but where you start and end changes. Okay, so when we're talking about a key, there's one particular key, the one that or one particular pitch, the one you started and ended on, that serves as our home base. So however the key is named, when we said C major, our scale started and ended on C, and C is what we call the tonic or the fundamental. You can think of it as your home base. So let me play key of C again, and now I'm going to stop on another key that's not C. And you'll hear how it doesn't quite sound complete or settled, okay? I left you hanging because I didn't end and resolve on C. So that's a good little test to see. I think my mic is a little bit hot. I'm turning it down. That's a good test to see what pitch feels like home base. Now, of course, in the songs that you're learning and singing, you're not always going to start and end on the tonic. You might start on a different pitch. So you might be in the key of C major, and you might sing, let's see. So you're going to be jumping around that key. And actually, that one had a a pitch that doesn't belong in the key. So that might not have been the most amazing example. Anyways, the pitch that feels like home base, that is your tonic, your fundamental, your root, and that is what we name that particular key. So C major starts and ends on C, that scale. A minor, we're starting and ending on A. And so A is now the pitch that feels like home base. That's the real difference between C major and A minor, because remember, they're the same pitches, but we're starting and ending at a different place for the scale. And now instead of mostly revolving around C, we're going to revolve more around A, and that'll give a different sound. So when I'm teaching my younger students, I usually will have them recognize chords. So I'll play a major chord and tell them that it has a happy sound, triumphant sound, and then I'll play a minor chord. And you can hear it has a sad, maybe a scary sound. That's why we're doing it on Halloween. So we'll do a little listening example in a bit. Some of you guys, if you were here for the major scale or first music theory live lesson, you learned that a major scale has a specific pattern of half steps and whole steps. So you learned that a major scale, you build it by going up a whole step, and the pattern is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. If that's familiar to you, I'll just give you what the minor scale pattern is. It's whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. Okay, so that is in the video description already. But we'll walk up again, starting on A3, going to A4, and I'll just demonstrate what those whole steps and half steps look and sound like. Okay, so a half step on the keyboard, stay with me, even if you're not a music theory or keyboard person, you can understand this. So a half step is from any key to the very next key, either to the right or left, black or white. So find A3 with me, and we'd call it a half step if we went from A3 to the very next key, not the white one, the very next key, that's the black key, up to the right or down to the left. So that's going from A to A sharp, also called B flat, or from A to G sharp, also called A flat. Okay, so that interval, that space between the two notes is called a half step. 2 half steps, this is basic math, easy peasy. 2 half steps makes a whole step. So if I go from A to A sharp to B, in other words, from A to B, now I'm playing a whole step. Okay, so we have our first step of the minor scale. A to B, whole step. Next interval, look in the video description. Next interval is a half step, B to C. Notice there's no black key in between B and C on your keyboard. Okay, so we've got whole step, half step. We have 2 whole steps in a row from C to D and D to E. Notice we're not playing those black keys. Our next interval, so we just played whole, half, whole, whole. Next step is a half step from E to F. E to F. No black key in between E and F. And then we end on 2 whole steps from F to G and G to A. All right, so starting on A, walking up a whole step to B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A. So that's how you can build a minor scale starting on any pitch on this keyboard. Okay, I'll make it much more simple for you. You don't have to do all that math every time. So go ahead and look in that resource list. It's the big paragraph towards the top of the video description, and click the link that says minor keys and scales. And then the link is pianoscales.org/minor. So click it with me. And here we can see, beautiful. We can see every minor scale or minor key written out. So the blue keys are the ones that you play. We have A minor, which now you know easily. We have A sharp or B flat minor, B minor, C minor, and on and on and on. The thing that stays consistent is that pattern, that interval pattern, the whole, half, whole, half, whole that we just learned. Okay, so if you go down even more, down to intervals and steps, you'll see it has the formula there as well. All right, and now let's talk quickly about what's called relative keys. So notice that C and A minor, we'd say that those have the same key signature, meaning there's no sharps or flats, it's only white keys. They share a key signature, and they are relative keys. They're related. This is true for any major key. And if you go down a minor third or 3 semitones from the tonic of that major key, you'll find it's relative minor. Okay, stick with me. Let's go to the key of G, okay? So if I'm starting and ending on G, let's say start on G3. And I'll tell you, the key signature for G is 1 sharp, and that sharp is an F sharp. So the key signature is kind of our, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, my mind is blanking. It's like our fast track, like our shortcut. Our shortcut. Key signature is our shortcut to tell us how to play in that key. So G major, you could do that math of walking up whole, half, half, or you could just learn the key of G major has 1 sharp, it's F sharp. So if I play G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Notice if I don't play that F sharp, I'm not playing in the key of G major. Listen to what that sounds like. Something's a little off. So in order to make it sound like G major, we've got to raise that F to F sharp. All right, so we're talking about relative keys here. start on G, walk down 1/2 step to the left to F sharp, another 1/2 step to F, and a 3rd 1/2 step to E. That interval from G to E, that's what we call a minor third. And if you walk from the fundamental, the tonic of a major scale or major key, go down a minor third, and you will find its relative minor. That worked for C major going to A minor, C, B, B flat, A. Same key signature, same pitches you're going to play, just starting and ending on a different pitch. Okay, so remember, G major had 1 sharp, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, this time play those same pitches, just 1 sharp, F sharp. Start on E. This is the relative minor of the key of G. Okay, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Now we're playing a minor scale. Cool. So if you go through, you'll see that pattern, that C flat to A flat minor, G flat to E flat minor. From the major to the relative minor, there's a minor third in between, or 3 1/2 steps. Okay, a little bit tricky, but especially for beginners, but that might help you if you're seeing kind of conflicting opinions. Okay, so next up, we've got the minor scale pattern, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole, whole. We've built a minor scale using that. We've talked about what relative minor is. So kind of my big takeaway for that is if you look up a song and it says it's in the key of E minor, but you thought it was in the key of G, now you know you can both kind of be correct. You could make a case that it's in the key of G because they share a key signature. So the question then for you is, does it sound more sad? Or does it revolve around the E more or the G more? Okay, so talking now about minor chords. A chord, basically, we can think of chords as having 3 pitches played all at once. So like this, or like this, or this. Well, that was actually a kind of a pretty pattern. What was that? A, D minor, G. Oh, you should remember that. If you're writing a song, go ahead and use that. Okay, so a chord, we could have more pitches, but kind of the basic way we think of chords is it's 3 pitches. And to get even more specific, it's 1/3 stacked on top of another third. Okay, stay with me. A major chord, actually, you know what? I'm going to put the pause button on this conversation because I explain it in a shorter lesson here on the channel, which I have the link in the description. So go check that out. It will give you lots of practice building major chords and minor chords. Okay, but what you need to know as a beginning singer, if you are like, I'm not playing an instrument, I'm just here to sing, it is still really, really good practice for you to identify major chords and minor chords. So all you need to know right now is that a major chord sounds happy and a minor chord sounds sad. So I'm going to do a little bit of ear training with you. First, I'm going to play a bunch of major chords, the happy ones. These are all major. I'm not tricking you. All major. Okay, notice that quality, and your brain might have said, they didn't all sound that happy to me. And that's because we're playing them just in succession with no like palate cleanser in between. Okay, so next I'm going to play a bunch of minor chords and get your ear used to picking out and hearing these minor chords. It's a little more obvious, right? When you hear these minor chords. Okay, so now test time. I know that wasn't really a lot of studying, but I'm going to play a chord. You tell me if you think it sounds major, happy, or minor, sad. Okay? Here we go. I'm going to be playing all across the keyboard. So, all right. I'm going to play those keys individually now. Just the chord. What do you think? Nice. Manuel guessed correctly. That was a major chord, specifically a B flat major chord. Ooh, nice. More correct guesses. Awesome. All right. What about this one? Good. If you don't want any spoilers, don't look in the chat. Correct. That is another major chord. All right. How about minor? Very nice. So I think, good job. Hey, Tyler. I think that hearing minor chords, it's pretty obvious. You might mistake a major chord for a minor one, but I don't think you're going to mistake a minor chord for a major one. I think that happens less frequently. Okay, how about this one? This time I'm not going to play individual pitches, I'll just play the chord. Good job. Lots of majors rolling in. Awesome. This is a new chord, by the way. Excellent. You guys are really good at this. Okay, so you can identify minor chords and major chords by ear. Awesome. Now here's a super important thing to understand. A minor key, remember how the scale sounds sad? A minor key still contains major chords. In the same way, a major key contains minor chords. So I'm going to quickly walk you through let's see. I guess we'll start with minor. We've done major in past videos. So the way that you figure out what chords belong in a key, start on the tonic. So let's get back to A minor. That's the easiest one. All right. We are not going to play any black keys, only white keys. And the way we're going to build chords, we're going to start on one pitch, skip the next pitch in the scale, and play the third one. So for example, we're going to play 1, skip 2, play 3, skip 4, play 5. And then we're going to move that 1, 3, 5 pattern. We're going to move that. Your hands are going like this. We're going to move that up by 1 scale degree and do the same thing. Okay, go back to that virtual piano. And if you joined late, please click key assist 2 times so that you can see those pitches on the keys. We really, really need that if you are unfamiliar with the keyboard. Okay, so it's virtualpiano.net. Click key assist twice. All right, excellent. So start on A. Remember, we're in the key of A minor. So play A, skip B, play C, skip D, and play E. Play them all at once if you can. Obviously, the virtual keyboard, you can't do that unless you're using like the keyboard function, but I will play them all at once for you. If we play the pitches individually, we call that an arpeggio. So fancy word, but if you ever hear that, if you ever hear an arpeggio or arpeggiated chords, that's all that means, is that it's a chord and you're playing those individual pitches one at a time. Something like that. Okay, so we've got the first chord that belongs in the key of A minor. That is called an A minor chord. All right, walk up. Oh, it's already going to get complicated. Walk up. Now, if you're playing on a real keyboard, you're just going to keep that finger position the same, that thumb, middle, pinky. You're going to just move it up to the next scale degree. But if you're doing a virtual keyboard situation, play B, skip C, play D, skip E, play F. Oh, yeah. So this is not a minor chord or a major chord. And if you know what this is, tell me in the live chat, because okay, while you're thinking on this or researching, what kind of chord is this? We have not learned it yet. Tyler's asking, so a melody would be considered an arpeggio. Tyler, sometimes a melody contains an arpeggio, but arpeggio specifically, we're singing only the pitches of that chord. So if your melody is going ba ba ba, we could call that an arpeggio. Ba ba ba, or ba 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 ba. Vocal warm-ups have arpeggios all over the place, but in reality, most melodies contain not only arpeggios, they also include stepwise motion. Da 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 da. Does that make sense? So melodies, usually you're gonna have more, I mean, almost all the time, you're gonna have more than just arpeggiated chords that you're singing. You're also singing steps, not just skips. Okay, hey, no one guessed what this kind of chord is, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. B, D, F. We call this a diminished chord. I know. You're like, I'm just focused on minor today. Let's not with diminished. But it is a legit kind of chord. And actually, this diminished chord also belongs in a major key. I know it sounds like it wouldn't. It is not a major chord. So B to D is a minor third, and D to F is another minor third. So a minor third plus a minor third gives us a diminished chord. Quickly, a minor third plus a major third gives us a minor chord. So if we wanted to turn this diminished chord into a minor one, we would play B, D, F sharp instead. But guess what? F sharp does not belong in the key of A. That's why a diminished chord, specifically a B diminished chord, belongs in this key. Okay, moving on up, play the next slot. So now we're starting on C. Skip D, play E. Skip F, play G. What quality of chord is this? You guys are really good at guessing this. Yeah, this is a major chord. So we've got our first major chord and we're in a minor key. So our chords so far have been A minor, B diminished, and And now C major. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Play D, F, and A. We're back to minor. Up another step, play E, G, and B. Another minor. Play F, A, and C. Major. Play G, B, and D. Another major. And then we could start this whole pattern again because look, we're back at A. So all those chords, by the way, A minor, B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor. All of those chords belong in the key of A minor, and you might have noticed if you've played a lot in the key of C major shares those chords. Interesting. All right. Because they share the same pitches, they share the same key signature. So where C major key, what am I trying to say? Chord progression. C major chord progression might go... That was C, F, G, C. Same kind of chord progression for A minor would sound like this. That was A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor. All right, so I know, a little bit confusing. Why do minor chords belong in major keys and vice versa? But if you, let me play like a really, really famous pattern. Okay, I'm going to play this in the key of C. So this is a really, really famous chord progression. It's in a million songs. One off the top of my head would be the verse of Let It Be. When I find myself. Okay, that chord progression in the key of C is C major, G major, A minor, and F major. But you'll notice it still has that happy, overarching happy sound. So that minor chord in there, it sounds good, but it doesn't make the whole song sound sad all of a sudden. Okay, so I would love to sing some vocal exercises with you in minor keys. We don't do this, like, hardly ever. So this is a super fun exercise for your ear and your brain. We're really used to going da 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 da, and we do that all the time. So we do stepwise major key 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1. We also go 1 3 5 3 1 or 1 3 5 8 5 3 1. All right, you're used to that. You can do that in your sleep. We're going to do minor versions of those very same exercises. So instead of 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1, we're going to sing 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1. Hi, Kimmy. We're glad to have you. Okay? And instead of singing 1 3 5 3 1, we're going to sing 1 3 5 3 1. All right, you get it. We're basically minorizing the vocal warm-ups that normally would be major. Okay, so I'm going to start you all. Let's start like mid-range, and then we'll walk down for low voices, and we'll walk up for high voices. So we're going to start kind of going a little bit slower than normal. So we're going to start on C, and already your brain is probably going da 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 dum. Is it going up and then down? Correct. So I'm going to give you the pattern. So we are going to sing first C, D, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, D, C. I'm demonstrating in the key that's most comfortable for me, which is starting on middle C or C4. Altos and sopranos, you can sing with me. Tenors, baritones, and basses, you can sing down the octave, meaning you're singing the same pitch letters. You're just going to be singing in a different octave number. So instead of singing C4 and all in the fourth octave, you're going to start on C3. So those pitches for you, listen first. That's, again, C, D, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, D, C. All right, a little bit confusing, me demonstrating up the octave, but I am playing in the lower octave for low voices. So here we go. Get that pattern in your ear. And this is a stepwise pattern. We're walking up in steps. We're not skipping. We'll do an arpeggio in a minute. All right. Here goes. You can sing on anything. You could sing on mum, do, do, da. Yeah, up to you. Choose a spooky syllable. Boo. Here we go. I'm going to sing on do. Starting on C, get your pitch. And here we go. Do, 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 do. Now we're singing B minor. Do, 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 do. B flat minor. Do, 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 do. A minor. Tenors, this might be getting too low for you. You can drop out if you need. Do, 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 do. G sharp minor. Do, 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 do. G minor. Do, 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 do. F sharp minor. Do, 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 do. F minor. Do, 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 do. Probably too low for sopranos, but for basses, yeah, for basses basically. Keep going. This is E minor. Do, 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 do. One more. Do, 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 do. Okay. Oh, out of habit, I played a major chord there on the end. I'm sorry. Minor, minor, minor. Okay, let's walk back up, and now we'll get gradually higher instead of gradually lower. If that low E flat was too low for you, you can sing up the octave with me and then just jump down if it gets too high. Okay, so starting at either E flat 3 or E flat 2. It's pretty low. Here we go. E flat minor. E minor. F minor. F sharp minor. G minor. G sharp minor, A minor, B flat minor, B minor, sorry, C minor. I'm gonna play, well, I'll just start singing again. C sharp minor. Now that you're used to this, let's see if we can speed it up just a bit. Remove the syllable if you want more of a challenge. Oh! Ooh. 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 Back where we started, key of C minor. Beautiful. So now we'll sing a minor arpeggio. Remember, arpeggio just means we sing the pitches of the chord separately. Kind of obviously, as a singer, we can't sing more than one pitch at once unless you are into, throat singing, overtone singing. That's something to look up if you want to see a singer who's sounding two pitches at once. Anyways, okay. So for most of us, we can only sing one pitch at once, and we're singing that feels like a controversial statement to make, but anyways, beginners. C minor, we're singing C, E flat, G, flat, C. I think I will sing the pitches, but you don't need to. So I'm only singing the pitches if you're following along and you don't know if you're singing the correct pitches. But really, sing whatever you want. Sing do 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 or mum 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 mum. All right. Only singing pitches to help you out with your ear training. Here we go. We're starting on C4 or C3, and we're singing C, E flat, G, E flat, C. Here we go. Again, we're going to walk down and then walk up and sing C, E flat, G, E flat, C. B, D, F sharp, D, B. B flat, D flat, F, D flat, B flat. A, C, E, C, A. Oh boy. G sharp, B, D sharp, B, G sharp. This is hard to do. G, B flat, D, B flat, G. F sharp, A, C sharp, A, F sharp. F, A flat, C, A flat, F. E, G, B, G, E. Oh, last one. E flat, G flat, B flat, G flat, E flat. Walking back up, and yes, Tyler, yes, exactly, and we'll talk about it. E, G, B, G, E. F, A flat, C, A flat, F. F sharp, A, C sharp, A, F sharp. G, B flat, D, B flat, G. I'm gonna hang back now and just play, but you're starting on G sharp or A flat. Here you go. B, C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp. We're gonna go really high this time. G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C sharp. Last one, D. Awesome. So let's do our last vocal exercise with minor scales or minor keys. Also, how is this going? Is it feeling really, really weird? It feels weird for me because in all my years of taking voice lessons, and I started at like age 6, I want to say. I never had a teacher use a minor scale. Never. Not that I can remember. Maybe they like sprinkled it in at some time, but anyways, it's just it doesn't happen a lot. Manuel's saying, I got lost a bit. I didn't know. Help. So Manuel, this is a good thing to go back and maybe do slower, do by yourself, kind of really locking into those minor chords. Yeah, I understand why it would get a little bit tricky as we're going on, but that's why I was kind of shouting out either the pitches or the name of the key. So at one point I was just saying, D, and take that to be D minor, and then you can find the pitches that belong in D minor or D minor chord, D, F, A, and you can practice this on your own, just slower, you and the keyboard. Okay. One more exercise, and then our last, 10 minutes can just be reserved for Q&A. Oh boy. So Tyler and Manuel are both talking about overtones now. We'll get to it. Okay, we'll get to it. So let's sing Mom. Oh gosh, I need to figure this out first. There we go. Mom, mom, mom. We're just getting kind of back down, using this kind of as a warm down. Mom, 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 mom. Those first pitches we're singing are D, A, F, D. So we're in D minor. This is an arpeggio as well. We're just starting at the top of it. Okay, so before we were going 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, and now we're going 8, 5, 3, 1. All right, so I'll go a little bit slower this time, and I'm actually going to give you the pitches before you sing. Okay, so first time through, listen, hear what the pitches are, and sing in your head. We call that audiating. So sing in your head the first time. Because this is quite a wide range, I'm not going to play the lower octave. I'm just going to start up at the top. So if this is too high for you, don't sing yet. And then when it becomes singable, jump back in. For everybody, we're starting up in head voice. Okay, so find head voice. Woo! Mom, 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 mom. And again, pitches are D, A, F, D. Now sing. Pitches are C sharp, G sharp, E, C sharp. Now sing. Mom, 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 mom. C, G, E flat, C. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. B, F sharp, D, B. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. All right, tenors can jump in. Basses and baritones, it might be a little bit high for you, but you could try starting B flat 4, F, D flat, B flat. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. Pitches A, E, C, A. Sing. Pitches G sharp, D sharp, B, G sharp. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. Basically, everyone can sing now. Low, low voices, you're up in head voice for this top note. Here we go. G, D, B flat, G. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. Pitches F sharp, C sharp, A, F sharp. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. Oh my goodness, that was not a chord I just played. My fingers didn't stretch quite as wide as they needed to. Pitches F, C, A flat, F. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. All right, high voices can drop out if you need. Pitches are E, B, G, E. Sing. Mom, 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 mom. Pitches E flat, B flat, G flat, E flat. Sing. Good, last few. Pitches D, A, F, D. Sing. Pitches C sharp, G sharp, E, C sharp. Sing. Last one, pitches, oh, I played a major chord. There you go. Pitches C, G, E flat, C. Sing. Very nice. If you want to do that and repeat this later on your own, and if you're a low voice type and you want that extra practice, when we started on, I think it was like D5 or something, you could just start at D4 and then walk down. Anyways, you do you. Okay, so quickly, look in the resource paragraph for some song examples in minor keys. I have a couple songs that are in minor keys and are pretty clearly like sound minor as well. One, God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. Hotline Bling, also in a minor key, maybe a little less clear. Bad Guy, Billie Eilish, in a minor key. Havana, Camila Cabello, in a minor key. But I included a link, a Spotify playlist of a bunch of songs in minor keys. If you want to find out if you're like, is this song in minor? Or does it just use minor chords and I think it's in minor? You can look up the chords and it usually will have the key listed if you go to ultimateguitar.com. Even if you don't play guitar, I use it because they have the chords and the lyrics, and they'll even show you on a diagram how to play it on a keyboard. So super helpful whether you play guitar, ukulele, bass, piano. It's a good resource. It's free. And I think the app is paid, but I just use the desktop version and it's great. And then another resource is karaoke-version.com. They also will list the key, and they'll, help you transpose karaoke tracks if you're singing a song and you need to put it in a different key. It's like $1.99 to buy the karaoke version, or you can just use it as a resource to determine a good key for you and see, what key is this in? Is it in a minor key? You can check. Both of those sources are pretty reliable. If you just Google like blah, 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 what key is it in? Sometimes it's not going to be right, but Ultimate Guitar and Karaoke Version are pretty solid in my opinion. Alrighty, so questions, get them in, and I will attempt to talk about overtones. So I said my statement that I felt was a little bit controversial is that as singers, we can only sing one pitch at a time. The reason that's controversial is because in reality, we sing a pitch, okay? We sing C. And in reality, you're not just hearing that C. You're hearing what are called overtones. There's other pitches. So Google overtone series or harmonics. There are other pitches that are sounding and they're giving that sound its full color or its full tone quality. If you want to hear just a single pitch, the closest we really can get to that would be like a tuning fork. If you hear a tuning fork, there's some overtones in the beginning, but then it's just this like really, really thin, clear ringing at the very end. That's as close as I can think of just a pure, what we call the fundamental, or the kind of the pitch that we identify. So I'm not doing this conversation justice because it's such a big topic. Overtones, there is such thing as overtone singing, in which singers will emphasize or bring out some of those overtones based on how they're shaping their vocal tract. So in reality, guys, we already do this when we say different vowels. So if you go E to oo, the reason that E sounds like E and oo sounds like oo is because of the overtones or those higher frequencies that are either being boosted or are not being boosted. So E, you can actually, if you're listening really carefully, you can hear overtones when you just make an E sound. Listen for this like kind of really, really faint kind of whistle or ring above that pitch that you're singing. Especially when you move from E to oo, you'll hear, if you're able to hear it, you'll hear those overtones and some of the lower overtones get brought out and then go back to E and they'll move back up. Okay, this might be confusing you, but because it's confusing and you just kind of have to take someone's word for it in the beginning. I learned about overtones and the overtone series a very long time ago, and I didn't get it for a long time. And other people would like hear overtones and then be like, oh, wow, I can hear that overtone really strongly. And I would just be like, okay, I trust you, but I don't hear it. And it took quite a while before I could actually hear those overtones. And I'm still not very good at it. There's other singers who are way, way better. And even some 30-day singer instructors who are skilled at, overtone singing. If you've seen videos from Abram, he's very good at shaping his mouth and throat in a way to bring out certain overtones. Okay, so one that will blow your mind, I'm going to just put the link in the description, and you can go down this rabbit hole and enjoy it. Okay, no. It's not controversial to sing with overtones. No, you're always, whenever you're making sound, there are overtones sounding. The controversial thing was me saying that we can only sing one pitch at a time. Because what I meant to say is we're not able to sing an arpeggio, or we're only able to sing an arpeggio. Ba, ba, ba. I can't sing that, and that at the same time, like a piano can, or a guitar, if you strum your guitar. So that's what I meant. But then when it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, that's not entirely true. It's not entirely true to say we can't sing more than one pitch at the same time. Because in reality, we can sing the fundamental, and then there's these harmonics or overtones that are actually sounding. Okay, so this link in the description, that's a great place to start because you're going to hear those overtones super clearly. It's going to be this high flute-like whistling sound, and your mind is going to be blown. You're going to be like, what? This must be fake. Like, I can't believe that this woman is creating all those sounds at once, but she's just shaping her mouth and throat in such a way that some of those overtones come out, and then she even changes the overtone. Anyways, just watch it. It's amazing. There's a reason it has 17 million views, so enjoy that. And then you can see, let's see. There's another video that she posted a little bit later, and it's explained visually. So it actually shows you the fundamental pitch and then the overtones shifting. Okay, if I lost you, like, it's okay. Watch those videos. Enjoy. All right. This has been great. So we did minor tonality, minor keys in honor of Halloween. So if you celebrate Halloween, enjoy. I hope it is safe and fun. And oh boy, Tyler's got a question. It would still be considered off pitch though, regardless, since the tuner can only recognize one note. That's a good question. I don't think that your tuner is sensitive enough to really account for overtones. Your tuner is analyzing the fundamental pitch that you're singing. So if you play a C on a keyboard, your ear is picking up C, you sing C, your tuner's picking that up. So so I wouldn't get too in the weeds on overtones and tuning just yet. I don't think you need to. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. I think that our topic is going to be rhythm, again, recommended by Tyler. Tyler's coming in clutch with really good live lesson recommendations. If you want to make a recommendation, head over to the forum. You can drop it here, but I don't check the comments very often, and I check the forum every day, basically. So head over to 30daysinger.com/forums and drop a recommendation of what you'd like to learn in these kind of deep dive hour-long lessons. Okay, cool. I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend. Awesome. See ya.